The Essential Directorship Masterclass: Achieving Excellence at Board Level. The History of Corporate Governance. The concept of corporate governance really started in the UK with the Cadbury Report in 1992, but it was quickly followed by the King Committee Report in South Africa in 1994. Then in the UK, the Greenbury Report in 1995, the Hampel Committee in 1998, the Turnbull Report in 1999, and the Higgs Report in 2003, which focused very much on the role of non-executive directors. The combined code formalised all of this in 2003, and the Tyson Report came also in 2003. In 2010, the combined code was relaunched as the Corporate Governance Code, and there have been revisions to the Corporate Governance Code in 2012, 2014 and 2016, and at the end of 2017 there is a further significant rewriting of it, which is somewhat simplified and in particular requires representation of workers' views in the largest of companies. The Cadbury Report in the UK in 1992 was rapidly followed by the first King Committee Report in South Africa in 1994, and South Africa and the UK have been the two leading thinkers and practitioners in terms of corporate governance over the years. King 2, the second King Committee Report, came out in 2002, and the Companies Act in South Africa was introduced in 2008. The Companies Act is a constituent part of corporate governance in South Africa. King 3 came out in 2009, and the Code for Responsible Investing in South Africa, CRISA, came out in 2011, giving you a package: Companies Act, King Report and CRISA, all to be considered working together, in terms particularly of sustainability. In the United States, we have a significantly different approach. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act, SOX, came out in 2002, and the Dodd-Frank Act in 2010. SOX was enacted to restore confidence in the markets after the collapse of the dot-com stock market boom and corporate governance scandals. And it requires chief executives and chief financial officers to confirm that the financial statements fairly represent financial decisions. Unlisted companies. The Corporate Governance Code in the UK specifically applies to listed companies, but good governance should apply throughout. So in the context of unlisted companies, good governance is not a question of protecting the interests of absentee shareholders. Rather, it is concerned with establishing a framework of company processes and attitudes that add value to the business and help ensure its long-term continuity and success. Governance will become an increasing issue for unlisted companies as they develop new sources of finance. A greater reliance on external funding will necessitate the implementation of a more explicit governance framework. State-owned enterprises continue to play an important role in many countries. Public ownership gives complete freedom in the choice of objectives and can therefore be used for any purpose that may be chosen. Whereas private ownership largely determines the ends for which it can be employed, the objectives under public ownership are undetermined and need to be consciously chosen. It's important, therefore, that the public interest should be clearly defined, including the interests of the employees, the local and national community, the consumers, the suppliers, and other state-owned enterprises. Mixing business with politics risks producing inefficient business and corrupt politics. So directors should expect the organisation's charter to enumerate and define the rights, if any, which the minister or any other organs of government or parliament can exercise over the business side, and the rights and responsibilities of the board of directors. Directors appointed to state-owned enterprises should ensure that they understand what is expected of them and are fully appraised of the legal basis for their role and any specific reporting requirements defined in legislation or government edict. So what does corporate governance mean to you? Is your company required by law to observe a corporate governance code? Or Are you a smaller, private or unlisted company? How important is corporate governance to the success of your company? And who are its stakeholders? On to the next video.